Right, beautiful lot. Welcome back to another Quick Kicks review from the game we watch live. And we're talking about a battle that needs more love. We're talking about the big Melbourne clubs that get too much attention. We saw two cracking interstate sides on ANZAC Day. Out west at the Optus, Fremantle Dockers and Adelaide Crows serving up what was actually a ripper. The game that showed brutal pressure, young guns flexing their muscles, and maybe Fremantle really hitting their straps well. So let's get stuck into this game. It was a ripping game to watch. Let's run the intro, and I'll see you on the other side. This was a night where Fremantle really had to show what they were, and they remembered it. They were tough, they were tenacious, they were tactically brilliant, and they were relentless. They brought the heat from the first bounce. They exploded out the blocks, slamming on 6 first-quarter goals and set the tone early. Brayshaw and Serong ran riot in the guts. Jordan Clark was everywhere, and Josh Treacy, a miss, and Oscar McDonald gave the Crows absolute defensive nightmare and really stretched the Crows' backline. They'd taken a 25-point lead by the quarter and were absolutely dictating terms. Adelaide, they came back hard, particularly around half-time. Rochelle, he had a mini revival for them. He sparked it. Thilthorpe, after his finger injury, he found a pulse. But they got back, and they got it within 20 points. But after half-time, Jordan Clark absolutely summed up this performance. A chase-down tackle on Neil Bullen, just showing their ferocity in the corridor and their ability to spread Fremantle wide. The back six, Ryan, Cox, Pearce, they really suffocated any entry that went inside 50. And the midfield group really did a number on Adelaide, forcing them out wide, forcing them to overuse the football. And really, once the game was done, Fremantle wrapped this up by the third. They did manage Adelaide's tail wag in the end and make the scoreboard narrow. But when the game was there to be won, they really did struggle. Game ending 85-67, an 18-point win. That did feel like a bigger win, like a 10-goal demolition at some stages. Adelaide will look back at this game and go, right, we've really got to start making chances count, finding a way when someone stifles our quick movement to get it out there. And at times, Matt Crouch was the biggest culprit here, just overusing the footy. And John Dawson was poor this game. Let's go into the tactical insight, the midfield trap. They set the tone, Fremantle did, particularly around stoppages. +8 in clearances. They managed to generate more inside 50s, +9. And the strong numbers individually, 10 clearances for Serong, big clearances for Brayshaw, and 8 inside 50s, really overtook Crouch and Dawson in the middle. Rather than bombing it long, they used the short kicks well. They looked to switch play. They weren't forceful. They really controlled the tempo of this game. And they made Adelaide's defence zone scramble from side to side. They used Adelaide's heavy forward pressure. They won the tackle count by 10 inside 50 against them. They allowed Adelaide to come onto them and then look for that switch kick and kick over the top of them. And once they got into the midfield, it was game over. They were really bold with their ball use under duress. And also they managed to funnel Adelaide out wide to really slow them down. And then also Frederick here, he was an absolute genius in this game. Kind of floating between that corridor and the wing. He played that well to perfection. He dragged Adelaide Crows defenders up the ground, opening holes inside 50 for a miss, and Treacy from that high half-forward position ended up with 2 goals himself and multiple score involvements. This was a real strong tactical nuance that really caused Adelaide to have to come up the ground and deal with him as that conduit. Adelaide just not being able to get Jordan Dawson in the game. He tried desperately to get the ball movement going, particularly even floating him through halfback. But these clever little traps that they set forced him to rush his disposal. 42.9% from him using the ball, way below his usual standard, and really struggled. Rory Laird couldn't get anything off halfback either. They really stopped any outlet kick and any running on from it. They really made them slow down. And then the battle of the big boys. We keep talking about Josh Treacy and Thilthorpe don't get the love. Treacy, 15 touches, 7 marks, 2 goals, 3. Thilthorpe, 9 touches, 3 goals, 2. Both looked lively. Treacy's work rate was incredible up the ground. He was a real pain in the butt. Multiple patterns of entries from him opening the field up. Thilthorpe, he got that busted finger, and he got involved in the game in late. They really missed Darcy Fogarty, though, here. He really opens them up, really straightens them out. Just couldn't really get into the game. And then the defensive structure, Fremantle's defensive clinic. Pearce and Cox, 13 intercept possessions between them. Ryan and Draper, 5 intercept marks. Absolutely suffocated the key forwards of Thilthorpe, Curtin and Walker. Without Darcy Fogarty's presence, who can really make that work, you saw the triangle of terror really stifled here. They looked disorganised at times, and at times they started operating in the same space. Thilthorpe, Curtin and Walker constantly in the same pockets of space. Very easy to defend. What went right? Midfield dominance. Brayshaw and Serong were immense for Fremantle. The relentless pressure, the hunger, the hunting in packs, real strong structure, blocking off the corridor, making them go wide. And the spread of goal kickers, 8 different kicks at goal kickers for Fremantle, really shows many ways to skin a cat. Switching off late will get them. They did win the game. I thought Adelaide found a way, though, to break that. Against the better sides, they probably will find a way to adapt quicker than Adelaide did. And I think this game with Fogarty as well would have been slightly different for how that forward entries work. Adelaide, Thilthorpe battled hard after a bad injury. Really did. And Rochelle looked really strong this game. Some big moments. They need that from him. But the forward line disconnect. What we usually see for them is them 3 wonderful leads. We didn't see that this week. And then the one-dimensional play from the back half, knowing it's led in the midfield, find Dawson at all costs. Way too predictable moving the ball. It was very similar all the time. Long bombs, not looking for runners. When you've got Rankin there, you've got to get him into the game. It felt like here that Adelaide really resorted to type, and that really struggled. So the talking points for this game, have Fremantle found a blueprint? We know that when they're at home, they're so strong. When they defend like that and have that spread of goals, they're a genuine threat. Adelaide, are they pretenders or contenders? When the pressure ramps up, it does seem a little thing here that once plan A is gone, plan B isn't there. This is something that they need to get over, because I do feel like they are in a good position. The talent's there. They've got to get it right on the field. And Josh Treacy, is he becoming a big cult hero? The big kahuna. Everyone talking about Sam Darcy, but Treacy's having a quality year, and one who is kind of come from nowhere and is a quality forward. That's the quick review then. In the books, my legends. If you did enjoy that, smash the like button, hit the subscribe. Let us know what your comments are. Answer these questions for me. Are Fremantle there? Are they the real deal? And are Crows flat track bullies? Big shout out to all the servicemen, past and present and women. Lest we not forget. And remember, whether your team's flying high or it's as flat as a pancake, there's always next week and another Quick Kicks review. Catch you next time, legends. Pom out.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.